Welcome back. We're going to continue on with our database queries. We're working with joins again. We're going to do a little bit more of an advanced join. Again, we're using the student schema for everything we're working with on this. And again, this is from the Oracle SQL by example text. You can find that on Amazon or any of the resources you're looking for. We did the earlier one. We just did a quick little join between the student table and the enrollment table. And we used that lovely relationship right here of the student ID, that primary key that used that relationship. But we just did a quick little simple one. We want to do a little bit more of an advanced join. This one we want to do a join across two tables. But this time, instead of simply just having to join with those two tables, we want to make sure we can limit those results. And so in this time, we're going to talk between the student table and the zip code table. And so again, we have the idea that when we have a relationship, in this case, it's the FK is the zip code. So zip is foreign key. We can see that right here in our diagram. That's a great way to identify it. If you don't have access to a schema like this or an ER diagram, look at the actual SQL itself, and you can find out where it identifies that foreign key relationship inside the DDL section of the actual language for it. And so we have that relationship right there, so we can identify how those two tables relate. And so that's what we're going to start off with. We're going to grab the zip code and the student that we're going to work with on that. And then we're going to go ahead and build that from there. So let's go ahead and build a query between that. So we're going to go ahead and grab, again, we're going to start with the zip code and student. So I'm going to have my select and the from and the join and the on, and then a where and an order by. So those are the clauses we're going to be working with on that. And again, I like starting with the from and the join because that's where the actual first execution point happens when we're working with a query. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with zip code. Because again, the order we do our tables doesn't really matter as long as we actually work within the tables. And I'm going to go from student stu. And so you don't have to use an alias on every single one. And so just we have an alias here on student. I'm going to use the alias of stu for that because zip code itself that's pretty short and easy to work with on its own. I know student is 2, but the idea that we can actually demonstrate this right here. And then the on clause, again, we're going to use that lovely relationship right here. We show that the key right here is the zip PK, is the foreign key right there. And so that's where we have to make that relationship happen. And so I'm going to have stu.zip equals zip code.zip. And so that's the primary key, foreign key relationship, that path that all the on clauses are going to be based off when we're talking about an equijoin. And so we have that right there. And then the next step we're going to be looking at is we want to make sure we limit our results so we only do some of the zip codes because I don't want to see all the zip codes on there. And so on my zip code restriction right here, I'm going to say zip code.zip. And again, because I need to use the table prefix on here because zip is one that is it could cause a confusion. So you have to make sure if there's anyone that have the same extension, like here with .zip has the same file, we have to make sure we do the proper table that we're working with so we can make sure we limit the results so there's no ambiguity when we're doing this. So we're zip code.zip, and then we use the between clause. And the between operator needs two values, and I'll say 6,000 and 7,000. So we have those right there. And then our order by, we'll order by zip code. So we'll order by zip code.zip. And our closer, or the great friend, the semicolon. And finally, we'll start off with our very beginning right here, our select right there. And we're going to get the zip code.zip, and then a comma, and then our zip code.state. Helps if I spell right. And then we'll do stu.phone. This is not exactly the most useful restriction we're going to be looking on there, but we have the ability we can grab those pieces. So again, when we're doing the join, we're going from the zip code table to the student table, and that's where we have that from join on, and that on clause matches that primary foreign key path that we're working with, so we have to keep that in mind. And I want to limit these results to only between the 6,000 and 7,000 range, and I'll go ahead and hit play on that. And that gives me 21 rows. So I scroll up right here, you can see I have my zip, my state, and my phone. So all these results are inside the state of Connecticut that we're working with, and we have it right there so we can grab that information. So again, I'm just doing a quick little two-table join. I'm joining from the zip code table to the student table. I do the on clause where I match the primary key, foreign key path, and then I limit my results by using the where clause. And so again, a where clause is how I shrink my result set that I can only get the ones I'm wanting for. If I take out that where clause right here, now I just delete that out of that, and I rerun my query. Boom, I go to 268 rows, a lot more stuff inside that. And so you want to make sure that you use your where clause appropriately. The on clause is for pairing up the tables, the where clause is for limiting your results. And that's how we can do a multi-table join using a where clause as how it was having some fun stuff. So thanks again, cheers, have a great day, see you next time.